So today we're going to have a look at the pen tool. So the pen tool, you can see, is right here and says pen. What a shock. The pen is exactly what you would think it is. It draws. So you're going to be telling the computer how you want it to draw. And I can use my cat to draw, but I can also change it to something more appropriate, like, for example, maybe a pencil. So let's see, under things, if I go down a bit, oops, I'm an S. I'm still working with my terrible, terrible mouse. Okay. And so now it's a pencil, and I don't want that cat anymore. Oops. I'm going to get rid of him entirely. Delete. Bye-bye, kitty. Okay, so now I've got a pencil, and I'm going to put it where I want it. And here's all of my pen commands. So what happens in Scratch, as you've figured out by now, is you drag commands over here, and they tell the computer what to do. And we're always going to want to start with telling it when it should do all this stuff. So we're going to click on events and say when the green flag is clicked. That's when I want to do this. I need to get a better mouse. Okay, so everything's going to happen when that green flag is clicked. So what's going to happen? Well, first of all, if you think about a pen, if you've got a pen in your hand and you're just going like this and the paper's down here, you're not going to draw anything, right? So the first thing we want to do is put the pen down. So I'm going to start by saying pen down. Okay. And then for now, I just want to draw a line for now. So I'm going to make my pen color because I like different colors. So what should my pen color be? I can pick any color I want in here. If I click this box, what it will let me do is click on a color I like and then use that color. So if I want it to be red, I would just click on the red, and there it is. So I'm going to have a red pen. That sounds fun. So the next thing I'm going to need to do is move my pen. So looking in here, there's some other things I can do, right? Let's ignore stamp for a minute. I can change the pen color as we're drawing, which would be pretty cool. I can make my pen color specific. Colors have specific numbers in programming, so I can put a color in. I can change the shade of the pen so it stays red. I can set the pen shade to something specific, again, using the numbers for colors. I can change the size. This would be to change it as I was going. This would be to set it. To make it move, though, so I put my pen down. I made it red. And now I want it to move, so I'm going to go to motion. So I'm going to put move 10 steps. Let's just see what happens when we do that. So when I click the green flag, my pen should go down, the color should be red, and it should move 10 steps. So let's see. It did. Yay, but we didn't really see much. 10 steps isn't very far. So let's change that to 50 steps. And this is programming. Programming is a lot of trial and error. See if it works. You didn't like it, try something different. There we go. Now it's kind of coming out of the wrong part of my pencil, but we can worry about that later. At least we can see the line right now. Now let's say that I want to now make a line going down this way. So I need to turn my pen in a different direction. Right now it's going from the left to the right. I want it to go from the top to the bottom. So I'm going to use this point in direction. And what direction do I want my pen to face? I want it to go down, and they helpfully put that for me. And then I want it to move again. So move another 50 steps. So now let's see what happens when we push that. And there it is. Notice though it went over another 50 steps. So maybe I don't want it to do that. Maybe every time you click green, I don't want it to do that. I want it to just keep going back to the beginning. So this time, notice when I click green, it's not going to the right anymore. And also it's going all over the place off the screen. These are not things I want. So there's some ways I can fix that. First of all, why is it going down? Because I pointed it down and I never told it to change. So it's always going to be pointed down. If I want it to go to the right first, then at the beginning I need to start with point in direction, going to the right. And now, if you look at my program, what do I have? When the green the green flag is clicked, I'm going to put my pen down, make the color red, point it to the right, so it's going to go like that, move 50 steps, then I'm going to point it down, and I'm going to move 50 more steps. So now let's try. And it's working, you can kind of see, but it's going right off the page, so that's annoying. So I have to do even more work to fix this up. So it's a lot of work with programming, right? We have to keep adding things to it and trying new things, but it's fun. It winds up being worth it. So what I want to do is when the green arrow is clicked, I want my pen to go back to here. So we're going to talk about this a bit more later, but look down here. Do you see these X and Y coordinates? These tell me where exactly I am. So X coordinates are this way, and I know you've seen this before. Y coordinates are this way. So if I want my pen to go here, looking at the screen, that's X negative 107 and Y 80. And you can see that down on the screen. I can't really show you at the moment, but you can see it changing now. So it was at about X negative 107 and Y 70, I'm going to say negative 110 and 75. So go to, that's what I want to happen. When I click on the arrow, I am going to get a better mouse, I promise. I want it to go to X negative 110, 19, and Y 75. Okay. And when do I want that to happen? I want it to happen right away, like as soon as that arrow is clicked, even before I put my pen down. So now let's see what happens. Uh-oh. So that's a problem. Why is that line there? Well, it's because I never told them to pick the pen up. If you have your pen down on the ground, it's going to be drawing, right? So I have to go back to my pen and pick pen up. And now the pen will be picked up until it gets to pen down again. So now let's try. And I can't see anything happening. How come? Again, it has to do with all of these marks on the screen. I want to get rid of those. So I'm going to put in clear. So that the first thing that's going to happen when the green flag is clicked is it's going to erase everything on the screen. Let's try now. There we go. Now, finally, it's doing what I want it to do. So let's review what we did here. So we started with when the green flag is clicked so that the program knows what to do. Then we said, as soon as you click that green flag, I want you to clear the screen. I want you to erase everything I put on there. Then I don't have lines all over my screen. Next, we're going to go to this place. We're going to go to X, negative 110, and Y 75, and that keeps us from being way off the screen. We're going to put our pen down. We're going to make the color red. We're going to point it in direction 90, so going this way. We're going to move 50 steps, which is this far. Then we're going to point in the direction 180, which is down. We're going to move another 50 steps. And then we're going to pick the pen up because we're done. And that's my whole program. So you can see I can mess around with it. I can change it to other things. So now it should be green. There it is. I can make it go further. I'll do 100 steps, but I'll leave the other one as 50. And then I get that. All kinds of things. So what I want you to do is just go and play around with the pen a bit and see if you can get it to draw something. Even if it's just like a box, try to draw a box and see what happens. And let me know if you need any help.